the calendar of events 2022. What a year it's been at Brooklands Museum. Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, of course, I'm going to be talking about my overall review of the 2022 calendar of events at Brooklands Museum and recapping what events I've been to and what ones have already been on in the year as well, and also sharing my thoughts individually with you guys as well. As you can see, I'm in my winter gear as it's very cold, but I've decided to film this video outdoors for you guys with the planes in the background. I've been really looking forward to making this video all year, and it's finally here. Enjoy the video guys. So I have made a custom poster of the events that I went to in 2022. Unfortunately, I was going to make it for an in-person thing, but due to budget reasons I decided not to and keep it. And here's a picture of it right now. So there's been so many events at this year's event. There's been like over 10 events. So in January you had the Vintage Car Club along with the film night. Then in March, Mini Day. April you had the Easter Classic Gathering along with the London Bus, British Marks Day, Italian Day. Then in May you had Jaguar Day, Cemetery of Speed, Mopar Association. In June there was the Double 12 weekend, the London Bus event, and in July there was the Relived event, the Summer Jumbo Classic Gathering. August there was the Aston Martin event. September there was the American Day, the German Day. Then October there was Autumn Motorsport Day, Emergency Services Day, and London Bus Museum event. So yes, there's been so many events, and not only that, there's been a load of talk events which I did not do this year, but stay tuned for one next year. And there was also some car events. I went to one in April, which was the TGR Car Club. It was okay, it was just an ordinary club that comes to the museum. So I decided to have a look around, have the first time with the cars around different parts of the museum. Now I'm going to go through all of them individual. So the first event of 2022 that I went to was the Easter Classic Gathering. This was a brand new event that was introduced to the calendar. Unfortunately, the New Year's Day Classic Gathering was meant to have gone ahead, but unfortunately got postponed due to the COVID-19 virus pandemic. And that of course got replaced with the Easter Classic Gathering that took place on Easter weekend. And I must say, because it was my first ever event at Brooklands Museum, I was very impressed and blown away by it, as there were so many cars across the museum. There was some around the Campbell shed, next to the clubhouse, up the finishing straight, around the banking, and on the concourse. There was just so many, it was just great to see it all really. All the cars were mainly like hot rods and old classic British cars. It was really good, and I think it was a great turnout as well, despite it was in Easter and not the ordinary New Year's Day. And the Easter Classic Gathering was one of my favourite events for this year. What did you guys think of the event? Be sure to put your thoughts in the below. So the next event I went to in April was Italian Car Day. This was my second ever event that I went to at Brooklands Museum, and this was another event where I was very impressed as well, as there was loads of different Italian cars across the site, which were Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Abarth, Fiat, Alfa Romeo, and so many other Italian cars. Just like the Easter Classic Gathering, they were all over the site, across the site, like mad, and it was a great atmosphere as well, especially the loud engines from the Lamborghinis. And at lunchtime, Mercedes-Benz World was in use from the museum, where all the different type of Italian cars got to have a go on the track, do demonstrations. That was a really good atmosphere. I really enjoyed that. That was definitely my highlight of the event. And then later on in the afternoon there was Test Hill, where we got to see some other cars go up there as well. My favourite was definitely the Lamborghini. Would I do the event? Yes, I would. Definitely for the Lambos and the Mercedes-Benz circuit. But there was some places in the museum where there was a few spots where it was repeating cars. So like in the Heights area, there was loads of Alfa Romeos. So got a little bit boring, but at the same time it was still good. And there was one area where it was just full of Fiats across the banking as well. But that's the nature of the event. In May, I went to another event called Cemetery of Speed. This one was celebrating an anniversary of a speed record. So in this one, there was loads of different pre-war cars used to race at Brooklands Museum, well, similar ones, including the Napier Railton. At different points of the day, they would do demonstrations up the finishing straight, and I must say that was really great fun to watch, especially with the loud engines from the pre-war cars. That's the main thing that I like about these events at Brooklands, is the engine noises, as it creates an amazing atmosphere. And I know I keep using that word a lot, but that is the main key word for the events. And I hope they do a similar event like Cemetery of Speed again in the future, as it's a very useful key to Brooklands and its history, and it gives you an example to what the place was like back in the old days when the racetrack was very in use. So the next event, this was a very last minute decision as I wasn't actually going to go to it. It's Festival of Motorsport Double 12. I only did day one of this event as it was on for 2 days. I did the Saturday. So with that day, it included some cars going over to the Mercedes-Benz World track for speed trials, and as well as a few displays on site at the museum, but that was mainly over by the Campbell shed. Personally, it was an okay event. I feel like the communication could have been better for the event, so like more communication about where to go to get to Mercedes-Benz World, and timings as well for the speed trials and other bits and bobs, but it is what it is. But I believe day 2 was also good with Test Hill in action and the finishing straight. The next one, London Bus Museum. This is related to all the different buses on display up the finishing straight, and also by the Jackson shed there was a few London taxis on display as well. This was a short sweet event for the families, and personally it was another okay event. There wasn't really a lot to look at, but at the same time it was designed to be a family fun day out. Still great to see all the different buses though, and the London taxis, don't get me wrong. But anyone that is choosing to go to the London bus event, I still recommend checking it out. Next event, Relived Years. This one has got to be the most action-packed event that I've done this year, as there was so much going on from start to finish. When I arrived, I did arrive a little bit late, but there was something going on at the finishing straight, then went straight over to Test Hill, and then later on in the afternoon there was more action on the finishing straight, which was great to see. There was all different retro cars, so like classic cars, army trucks, and any other bits and bobs from past decades. It was an amazing event. It was always good to see the different activity going on the finishing straight, so like demonstrations and mini races. Also Test Hill was a great atmosphere vibe as well. Anyone that has not been to Relived Years, I strongly recommend you go to it and check it out, as it's action packed from start to finish. Oh, there was also cycle cars as well, which was very cool to watch. In August, I went to their brand new event, Aston Martin Events, and I must say this one was incredible. It was such a great turnout. There were so many Aston Martins across the site as well, from old to new, and also some James Bond cars. There was also Test Hill, where the pre-war Aston Martin cars got to go up there, as well as one latest Aston Martin. It was alright. It was just such a great event though, that I'll be surprised if it does come back in future years, but we will have to wait and see what the lineup brings for 2023. But anyone that has not been to that event who like Aston Martins or James Bond cars related to Aston Martin, strongly recommend coming to the event if it does return in future years. The next event was in September, and this has got to be my favourite event of all the events on this year, and this was American Day. So this one is of course about all the different hot rods, muscle cars and any other American car. There were so many across the site. Yet again, it was a great turnout, and I just liked looking at all the different hot rods. I've always grown up with liking hot rods, as I live in Bisley, and they used to do Hot Rods Hayride. It returned this year in fact, and will be coming back again next year, and that's always just as good as well. But to see it all happening at Brooklands Museum was amazing, and I definitely want to do American Day again next year. The next event I did in September was German Day. This was another brand new event for 2022, which featured all different German cars, so like Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Porsche, and any other car that you can think of. This included test hill, so some of the cars got to go up there. Personally, the overall event in general, I was really disappointed, as there wasn't really a lot to see. There wasn't really a lot of cars to look at, as it was mainly on the finishing straight and around the paddock and Campbell shed. But hopefully it will come back bigger and better next year. So the next event that I went to, this was actually the last event I did in 2022, and that's Autumn Motorsport Day. This was a last minute decision that I made, as I wasn't actually going to go to it, but I did. And this one really impressed me actually, as it was a great action-packed day. There were so many different motorsport cars to look at, so like rally cars, NASCAR, some others as well across the site. There was also on the finishing straight the auto test, which was very cool. Mercedes-Benz was in use, just like Italian Day, and Test Hill was in action as well. And I must say, out of all the times I've watched Test Hill, that was my favourite, as there were so many cool cars to see go up it. And Mercedes-Benz, well, there was a lot to see over there as well. There was so many good cars going across the track. I don't really have a favourite for both activities, to be honest, at this event. There was just so many. And would I do it again? Yes, I would. It's definitely a must-do year-round event, and I recommend you guys go to that one if you haven't been. So that's all the events that I went to in 2022, and I must say, because I volunteer here, I get to go in the events for free and bring people that I know along for free as well. So I feel so lucky and grateful to be able to do as many events as I could this year. And I'm definitely looking forward to doing hopefully more next year. And I must say, it was great fun checking them all out as well, and also filming them for you guys and taking pictures for personal use. So there was a few other events that I wanted to do, but I did not manage to go to. I was planning on hopefully doing Mini Day and the motorbike event, but unfortunately due to reasons I didn't get to go to them, which was a shame, but hopefully next year. And I was also going to make a last minute decision to go to Military Vehicle Day as well, but due to the bad weather I did not go to that one. So my favourite event of 2022 has to be American Day. My least favourite has to be the Double 12 Day 1 event, but I might give that a second chance next year, but I'm not promising anything. So that is the end of the video for my overall review of the events at Brooklands for 2022. Some of the reviews were short and sweet, and some of them were very long as well. So I tried to divide it a little bit throughout the video. What did you guys think of the events this year? Did you go to any? What was your favourite? What was your least favourite? Which one could have been better? Comment below your thoughts. And be sure to like, subscribe for more future videos. The next event that's on at Brooklands Museum is the New Year's Day Classic Gathering on 1st of January. So to be sure to check that event out, as it's meant to be crazy. I might be going to that event, but I can't promise anything, so I'll have to wait and see. And stay tuned for a 2023 lineup announcement of the events at Brooklands coming very soon. My name's Liam, see you in the next one.